Hi, today we're going to go over one type of SAT reading question known as the vocabulary and context question. With these questions, you'll be provided a word from the passage and asked to define it using one of four multiple choice answer possibilities. Now, the way to kind of approach this question effectively is not to do what that poor bird is doing, okay, and to just go to your dictionary and memorize every word you see in there, right? That's not a great way to approach this kind of question. A better way to approach this question is to look at that vocabulary, look at that word in the context in which it appears in the passage. Okay, because often with this kind of question, the word you'll be given is not that difficult, but the word will be used in the passage in a way that relies on the secondary definition of the word, not the primary definition. What I mean by the secondary definition is that often words will have multiple definitions, and sometimes the secondary definition will be used by a writer, right? This secondary definition is less commonly seen, it's less commonly circulated in our language, and it means that the person taking the SAT reading section may be less familiar with the secondary definition of the word. That's the way in this kind of question will test us, right? That's the difficulty with these vocabulary and context questions. Okay, so to kind of demonstrate how we approach this kind of question, I've included an example in the next slide. All right, so we've got a question here as used in line 24, head most nearly means. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're actually not going to look at the answer choices, right? You see that I haven't actually provided the answer choices on this slide yet. The reason why I haven't done that is because if we look at the answer choices first, it may unduly influence or pollute the way that we approach this question, right? We don't want our thinking for this question to be influenced by something that is in the passage. We're not going to be able to find the answer to this question just by looking at the answer choices only. We want to focus on the passage. The information that the passage provides us will give us the answer, not the answer choices. Okay, so the first thing we do is we go back to the passage and we find line 24, right? Okay, so line 24, we can see that, yep, head does appear, right? So it's right here. Okay, so we found the word, okay, and now we need to kind of look at the context, right? Let's start with the sentence, all right? So we've got the sentence here, all right? And we can see that in this sentence, okay, there's a friend, there's a Walter, okay? They didn't marry, even though that was something the acquaintance was anticipating. Okay, so, right, we've got kind of the basics of what we need to try and figure out what head means, all right? We know that the acquaintance was anticipating a marriage between the friend and Sir Walter, okay, even though they didn't marry. Okay, so how does the word head fit into this picture, right? If we look at the word head, okay, we can actually see that it's probably kind of representing that situation or that scenario in which the friend of Sir Walter was married. Okay, look at how the word head is being used, right? The acquaintance was anticipating a marriage on that head, right? That kind of possibility, that scenario, that situation. Okay, so let's kind of put down some predictions, all right, for what head can mean. Okay, so that's what we would do after we kind of establish the context in which the word was used. We come up with predictions for what the word may mean, right? So things like situation or scenario or possibility. And these are all things that that word head may mean, right? Based on our understanding of that sentence, right? In that sentence, the acquaintance is anticipating a scenario or a possibility or a situation in which the friend and Sir Walter got married. But in the end, they didn't get married, okay? But it was a scenario that the acquaintance was anticipating. Okay, so we've kind of found our word, we've read the surrounding context, we've come up with predictions for what that word may mean. All right, so now it's time to actually go back to the answer choices and look at, you know, if there's one that kind of fits our predictions. All right, so let's look at the answer choices now. Okay, we've got four there, right? We've got face, we've got countenance, possibility, and inevitably. Okay, and as luck would have it, right, one of our answer choices matches with one of our predictions, right? We've got possibility in our predictions and we've got possibility in our answer choices. All right, let's run that word through that sentence and make sure that it's okay, all right? To make sure that we haven't kind of erroneously interpreted that sentence, all right? So let's try possibility in the place of head. This friend and Sir Walter did not marry, whatever might have been anticipated on that possibility by the acquaintance. Yeah, sounds good, right? Okay, so the acquaintance was indeed anticipating that possibility that the friend, Mr. Walter, was going to get married, although they didn't. All right, so yeah, seems fine, looks good. All right, so all you have to do now is just circle C, all right? Or if you were taking the exam, you would blot it out on your answer sheet, all right? And that's the question done. Okay, so the answer there is C. Okay, so that's just a simple demonstration of how we would approach a vocabulary and context question, right? We wouldn't look at the answer choices first. Instead, we would go to the passage, find the word, read the context, and then base our answer on any predictions we come up with based on our context, based on the context in which that word appears. Okay, so again, if we're looking for a simple summary, all right, don't look at the answer choices, read the text, find the context, come up with the prediction, and go back to the answers. Okay, so I hope that was helpful in terms of your understanding of vocabulary and context questions, and also in terms of your understanding of the reading section, right? If you need any more help, right? If you're looking for more resources on exam prep, if you're looking for some one-on-one tutorials, SAT classes, ACT classes, don't hesitate to give us a call or drop us an email, right? We work with students of all levels and ages, all right? And we would be really happy to help you with all your test prep needs. All right, so that's all from me for now, and thank you very much for tuning in.